Hello, Namaste. I welcome you all to the 87th of GURUBODHA. I welcome you all to this session. We have with us today Dr. Abdul Karim sir and Dr. Raghuram sir. First, I would like to invite and welcome Dr. Abdul Karim to this session. Good evening and Namaste, sir.
Good evening, sir. Namaste.
I also would like to welcome Dr. Raghuram sir to this session. Good evening, sir.
Good evening and namaste to all.
This session is brought to you by easyayurveda.com. I dedicate this and all of my works at the holy feet of Dr. A. Chandrasekhar Udupa. This class is live, made available exclusively for Easy Ayurveda class subscribers. If you want to subscribe, please go to easyayurveda.com/video-classes. So in this session, Dr. Abdul Karim is going to talk about varieties of Kashaya Kalpana, that is herbal teas, herbal decoctions, and which concentration to use where. More details on that. Over to you, Dr. Abdul Karim sir.
Today we are going to see about the Kashaya Kalpanas. In that we are going to discuss on variations of Kashaya process based on their concentration and how we can able to use in our day-to-day practice. Every science has its own set of fundamental principles, which shows the path with the best in advance. Means the fundamentals are the basic roots for us, but to do anything for any research, actually, as I said that always our science is completely research based. These are all fundamentals are there. They are the background for the researchers for there. And they are the roots for the further theories in it also. How the science has been grown up on that basis. Today we are taking one branch that is in Ayurveda that is called as Vaishya Kalpana. In that it's also known as a pharmaceutical science where the formulations are going to be how we can able to prepare. In that the basic principles are the fundamental principles for Vaishya Kalpana are there. Those are called as Adharabhuta Siddhantas of Vaishya Kalpanas. Out of that, one is going to be used today to make to understand the types of formulations or how to make the formulations or Aushadha Nirmanas. On that, one of the fundamental for Vaishya Kalpana is Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpanas. The name itself indicating here Panchavidha. There are the 5 types of Kashaya Kalpanas are there. Out of that, we are going to study today one. The basic 5 elements for the preparations. Here, the basic form of preparations are used to prepare the medicines from botanicals in Ayurveda. Botanicals means maximally means almost 99.99% we are using the herbal medication. So the word has been used as a botanicals in Ayurveda here. And coming to the word Kashaya, people knows that Kashaya means directly we will think about the decoctions, but it's having a broad spectrum meaning is there before because each and every formulation has been considered as an Kashaya Kalpana. Whatever it may be the preparations of it may be ghees, oils, or Kashayas mean that Rasa, Kalpana means juices, paste, extractions, all thing infusions, everything it has been called as an Kashayas. If time gets permits in future, we will going to discuss about this broadly how the word has been called as why this Kashaya nomenclature has been made for the formulations. The word Kashaya means here distortion of the original form of a drug and make suitable for administration. Because in the past we don't have any ideas to how the medication should be prepared. This Kashaya is going to be telling that here distortion means Mula Dravya Swarupam, Nasha of Mula Dravya means how the root is there. And if you want to be prepare any paste, if you want to prepare a powder, if you want to prepare a decoction also be, we have to be crushed that material, the drug, and we are going to be, and we can't able to give back the same shape structure of that drug. So it is saying the distortion of the original form of a dravya means it is called as an samskaras. If you do the transformation, then only it's going to be making to be in a suitable form. So the word meaning has been given in that way here actually, and still several meanings are there. We'll see in the other sections. And these are the more 5 are more efficient in potency in descending order. Telling that in descending order means there are 5 Sarasa, Kalka, Kvata, Hima, and Fanta. They are all having their higher potency to come to the lower potency, and they are used according to the digestive power, strength, and the need of the disease condition. So in Charak Samhita Sutrasthana, there will be a loka as they are going to be quote for this to be how we have to be adopt these formulation. This telling that तेषां यथापूर्वं बलादित्यम् अतः कषायकल्पनाः व्यात्तुरा बलापेक्षिणी न तत्त्वेयं खलु सर्वाणि सर्वत्रोपयोगिनी भवन्ति. Means they are telling that तेषां यथापूर्वं baladikyam ataha on the basis of the bala the potency of the dravya And these Kashaya Kalpanas should be used on the basis of Vyadi Athura Balapekshani. Vyadi means a disease condition, how much it is there, in which stage the condition of the disease we have to be understand. First, second, third are moderate are there, higher conditions are there. We have to be understand that. Along with that, we have to be understand the bala of the Athura also. How the patient is there, what is his body build is there. It may be a moderately built, it may be a well built. Like that, we have to be assessed. The disease condition will also be assessed along with the patients. Everything we have to be examined. On that basis only, we have to be select the proper medication on the basis of the potency of the medication. Because if in a higher potency medication, but patient is very weak, if you adopt this that medication means what is going to happen here? The potency of the medication is again it is going to be on the patient's physics. So here what is going to happen? We have to be choose which potency of the medication is it suits in this condition. So the diseases here also it is mentioned that potentia in descending order. They are the five as I told that, and we'll come back. We'll come to there. We'll understand that what are the medications are there. Now, how the Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpanas development we are going to see. From in Neolithic ages, the early humans used it to stone slabs to crush and extract the juices, making or make powders. They are using the roughly that. But later in early stages like in Vedas, Mahakavya means Ramayana, Mahabharata, and that and all. Samhitas and Nigantus are given a clear picture of existing pharmaceutical preparations of drugs and where applications have been clearly mentioned. The first and foremost knowledge of Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana clearly has stated by Acharya Charaka in Charaka Samhita by Acharya Agnivesh. And we are having a small classification has done here. Classification of Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana according to different authors. In Charak Samhita also, there are five in number. They are going to be telling like this. That is Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpanamiti Tadata Sarasaha Kalpaha Vata Sarasa Kalpaha Shutaha Shita Fantasticati Kashayam. Means Sarasa is nothing but here. Shuta is nothing but used as an Vata in the terms has been used here. Shuta added Ksheera. Here, Ksheera means it's an latex of an drug because the potency of the medication, how the names are mentioned here. Sorasa, Kalka, Kwata, Hima, and Fanta. The highest potentiated medication is Sorasa. Next, it is Kalka. After that, it is Kwata, then Hima, and Fanta. Like Shushuta also be mentioned, but according to him, he included as an a higher potentiated medicine as an a Ksheera. Ksheera means here latex of the plants, which are going to exudate the milk from the plants. Next, come to the Kashyapa Samhita. Kashapa has been added extra two drugs as formulations they have been added. That is Churna and Abhishava. Abhishava means here the fermented materials that is has been added, and Sarasa, Kalka, Kwata, Hima, and Fanta has been mentioned. And another special addition is there that is from Ravana, Acharya Ravana, that is from his book Arka Prakasha book. That is a completely a distillation process book is there in that. And he mentioned different five types of Panchavidha Kashaya that is Kalpa, Chona, Rasa, and Tila, and Arka. And according to him, Arka is the higher potentiated medicine. From after before Arka, after the Arka, Tila to Rasa means here Rasa has been used. Then Chona, and last he mentioned as an Kalpa. And Vagbata also be mentioned as same as Charaka. And Sharangadar Samhita also be mentioned same as Charaka Samhita itself. Sarasa, Kalka, Kota, Hima, and Panta. This is a basic classification of Panchavidha Upakalpanas according to different authors. Now today's topic we are going to be seeing here that is Kashaya or Vata Kalpana. The word Kashaya and Vata here, the definition, basic definition has been taken from Charaka Samhita. That is Vannautu Patitam Dravyam Shrutamahu Chikitsaha. Vannautu Patitam means it is a Vanna means a fire which is going to be boiled or cooked the Dravya, and it has going to be taken out that material. That is it is saying aqueous extracts of a drug prepared after boiling the drug in with water. So Vannautu Patitam. Patita means a boiling in fire. Dravyam Shrutamahu Chikitsaka, which has been used. But according to the Sharangadar Samhita, he clearly explained that see, this is a basic principle. Vannautu Patitam Dravyam Shrutamahu Chikitsaka. This is a research work which is done by Acharya Sharangadar Samhita. He taken that Vannautu Patitam and he made it clear that he developed that how much quantity of water should be taken, how much drug should be taken, and how much reduction has been done, and how it should be prepared. That has been mentioned by Acharya Sharangadar Samhita here. In this context, he is telling that Paniyam Shodashagunam Ne Dravapalekshipe Mrtpatre Kwataye Grahyam Ashtam Avasheshitam Tajjalam Paye Diman Poshnam Mridwagni Sadhika. He is telling that Paniyam Shodasham Gunne means here first what you have to do, a coarsely powder has been taken. Always there is a rule for to make any kashayas, we have to use the coarse powders always. The coarsely powder of the drug, one part has to be taken and it should be soaked overnight in 16 times of water in an earthen vessel. It has been there. It is the shloka says that Paniyam Shodashagunam Tunne Dravyapale Kshipe. Shodashaguna means 16 parts of drug should be immersed Paniya in water. Dravyapale, one pala of the dravya is going to be immersed in Mrutpatre, where we have to prepare the kvata in that. Grahyam Ashtama Avasheshitam. After soaking the overnight, it has started to be boiled. After boiling, it has to be reduced to 1/8 part of the total quantity has been explained here. Ashtam Avasheshitam. And then Tajjalam Payet for drinking purpose. That has to be filtered and it has been collected. Payet Diman Koshnam Murdwagni Saditam. And it is telling that it should be boiled on a mild fire actually. It should not be high flame should be there. It is on the Madhyamagni or in a Murduvagni has should be given boil properly. If you are giving the excess of fire, heavy fire, the Katinagni, if you are given that, Bhatagni, Kharagni, the types of Agnis are there. If you are given high flame, what is going to happen? Some of the active principles which are there, which are going to be evaporated due because of in higher temperature. For that purpose, we have to use always Murduvagni Saditam. It has been told that in a that one. After that, filter and administered in a lukewarm condition. Mridwagni Saditam, Tajjalam Payat Diman, Koshnam. Koshnam, the word has been telling that it's a not Sukoshna. Koshna means here Sukoshna. Sukha Koshna means which is easily drinkable. That much quantity of heat should be there in that. Murdwagni Sadita. In Murdwagni, it has to be boiled. And according to Shushuta, he has given some synonyms for that. That is Shuta, Kvata, Kashaya, Niruha, like that. Shuta means cooked one. Kvata means boiled. Name itself still. Kashaya, distortion. Distortion means the shape of the dravya which is being destroyed or it may be never be regained or the taste which irritates the throat. Kantasa Pashanat Prayaha, which irritates the our throat, the taste, the astringent taste of an Kashaya dravya. So it has been mentioned as an Kashaya word there. And Niruha, no, Niryasa, sorry. Niryasa means it's like an extraction. What we are doing here, we are going to be taking the ingredient, its chemical composition in a aqueous media, in water media, that is called as an Niryasa. Let's come to the dose of Kashaya. Here it is mentioned that Ahara Rasapake sa Sanjate Dvipalon Vitam. See, this is a major thing we have to be understand that when we have to be administered also. Vatapana Samaya has been mentioned. Time of administration of Kashaya Dravyas. That is also be a major point when we have, because so many people will say that it should be given before food, after food, when we have to give. That specifically Acharya Sharangadhar has been mentioned that Ahara Rasapake means he is telling that after the digestion of the first prahara, means after the digestion of first kala, Ahara Rasapaka, that we are going to study in the Vipakas, Madhura Vipaka, Patu Vipaka, Kashaya Vipakas are there. In that Vipakas, the Ahara Rasapake, first Paka, means when food crosses our stomach, means again our stomach will be empty, but food will be there in our next part of the digestion. In that time duration, we have to be administered the Quata has been should be administered. Kashaya should be given to the patient. So Sanjate Dvipalonvitam. The dose has been mentioned 2 pala. 2 pala means 96 ml. One pala is 48 ml is there. Ruddha Vaidya's Upadeshena. That is told by Ruddha Vaidyas. Their opinion has been mentioned in this context. And again, the Sharangadara has been mentioned in between that. Madhyama Matra of the Kashayas has been mentioned. That is 1 pala. That is 48 ml has been mentioned. And come to the shelf life. Shelf life is Sadyopana always, instantly prepared and the use. No need to be kept for any 24 hours also, because if you keep for 24 hours, definitely there will be changes in their chemical compositions. So we have to use always all Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpanas in a as a Sadhyopa. And come to the how the note regarding the preparation of Kashaya Kalpanas. One thing, as I said that already, it is Kashaya powder must and should be in a coarse in nature, should not be in a powder form, not in that one. Generally, it should be in a coarse in nature, because in that form only the while boiling the chemical compositions of the drug are going to be released very easily. If it is in a if you keep in powder form, what is going to happen? It adhere the bottom and it is going to be have chances to be charred. For that purpose, post spreader is the best method. And always use the earthen pot or any chemically inert vessels should be used because it should not get any reactions with the vessel and any medicines. Like example is copper vessels. Always, even in copper vessels, we should not able to use the water which is boiled in copper. Then because it get the poison because of the coppers. And the boiling must be carried out on moderate heat only. That is told as murdu agni. And next, while boiling, vessel must be kept open. For this, there is an quotation has been given by Sharanga Samhita. Why we have to kept open always. Therefore, and before going to that, I'll finish this. If in this, if dried and hard drugs are there, means we have must and should be soak the drugs overnight. If it is any fresh drugs are there, no need to be soaking. Or if it is a soft drugs are there, we can no need to be. If add it and within fastly we can able to prepare the Kashayas instantly, no issues in that. But if it is harder drugs are there, more dry drugs are there we have to be soak compulsively overnight to get the good yield of the preparation. Here precaution, as I said that why we should able to be not close the vessel. पाके समय that is telling that here स पिधान मुखे पात्रे जलम दुर्जरम वर्जयेत् तस्माद् वरणम त्यक्त्वा क्वथि क्वथादीनां विनिश्चयः. Reason is saying that never close the vessel with the lid while boiling the decoction because whatever the evaporated water will be there, the drops are going to be collected on the lower surface of the lid. And when you are trying to be open that lid to check that also, what is going to happen? That leads to be whatever the water collection is there, that is going to be fall down in the same kashaya again. That leads to the dilute the kashaya, and along with that, and it's heavy to digest also. Durjaram, the word has been used by in that context. It is heavy to digest and automatically because we are making lighter. Almost the heavier things are going to be because as I said, the distillations are always having a higher potency. So here we are maintaining some level of potency for the preparation of Kashayas here. So the heavy to digest that going to lead to again the Kashaya should be diluted. For that purpose, we should never use the lid while preparing the Kashayas. Next come to the which type of drugs are should be used and what are the proportions we are going to use for the preparation. And first one thing is that is what Sharangadara told that 1 is to 16 is 16 ratio. Shodashaguna, 16 parts of water and 1 part of the drug has been used and it has reduced to Astamamsha, 8 part. That is for always for drinkables. Whatever the proportion by told by Sharangadara in the quotation, that is which are we are going to be consuming as an medicaments. Now here for different purposes, different nature of the drugs, according to that we have to be prepared here. Water proportion of for decoctions preparation according to the nature of the drug. If it is a soft drugs are there, where we should be able to use 4 parts of water is enough. If it is in a Katina Dravyas here, that is a medium nature, where there we have to use the 8 parts of water is. And if it is Atyanta, very hard drugs are there. In that context, we have to use the 16 parts of water. Mrudu Dravyas, 4 parts. Katina Dravyas, that is the medium hard parts. Hard drugs are there, 8 parts are there. And Atyanta Katina means more harder are there. That context, 16 parts of water. And in this context, definitely we have to be kept overnight because it should be get softened by the hard drugs. And another question will be raised by saying this. What is going to, that is the concept told by Ksheerapaka here, Acharya Ksheerapaka, because in our formulations, sometimes what is going to happen while preparing the decoctions, all types of drugs are going to be mixed. Soft drugs will be there, medium drugs are should be there, hard drugs also be there in a single preparation. So in this context, what we have to do, that is called as an anuktamana. There is some of the things, if it is not available, what we have to be used. In that the acharyas has been given an anuktamana for this. Here in this context, Sharapani says that if you are adding all the soft, medium, and hard rocks are there, so the best option is we have to use the 8 parts of water should be used for the preparation of Kashaya. This is the concept of Sharapanis. Next come to the another classification. Water proportion for decoction preparations according to the quantity of the drug. First one it has been told by on the basis of nature of the drug. Now it is going to telling the quantity of the drug. That is told by Acharya Varahamihar. According to him, reference has been taken from Hydrochemistry book written by Dr. Bhagwan Das. Now here he made it ranges the quantity of the drugs I've mentioned. That is 1 masha to 1 pala means from 1 gram to 48 grams. If it is the quantity of the medication is there, how much we have to be used? The water part should be used 16 parts from 1 pala to 1 food hour, that is 48 grams to 190, 98 grams. That is where we should able to the 8 parts of water. Next come to the 1 food hour to 1 prasta, that is 192 grams to 768 grams, 4 parts of water. And after that 1 prasta to 1 khari, up to here 768 grams to up to 196.608 kilograms. That is the approximate weight of 1 khari. Up to that, we have to use the 4 parts only. This is according to the water proportion on the basis of the quantity of the drugs. Now, the major things are going to be seen here. Classification of kashayas on the basis of their pharmacological actions. How the classification has been done. The Kashaya Kalpanas. This is according to Todrananda, Acharya Todrananda. He mentioned the 7 types of kashayas has been mentioned. One is that is Pachana Kashaya, for as it is called the digestive decoctions. Deepana Kashaya, appetizers are there. Shodhana Kashaya, that is detoxification kashayas. Shamana, pacifications are there. Tarpana, rehydration or nourishment kashayas or decoctions are there. Kledana, which moist the drugs, that is moist in nature, so which is called as Kledana Kashaya. Toshana Kashaya, which Kashayas are going to be dries up in the body. So their action is mentioned, Pachana, Dosha Pachana has been going to done. Then Deepana, Agni Deepaka Karma, which increases the appetizer, that is Agni. Shodhana, Mala Shodhana, means whatever the doshas are aggravated or malas are aggravated in the body, those are going to be eliminated. Shamana, Vadi Shamana means disease pacifications can be done. Tarpana, Dhatu Tarpana, that is nourishment of the Dhatus has been going to mention. Kledana, moist the kleda, Rud Kledakara, it's making to be moist, where the dryness is more there. In that context, we have to use this Rud Kledakara, which should give the happiness into the body there. Shoshana Karma means here increase the dryness in the body, where excess of kapha is there, where you have to remove. In that context, we have to use the Shoshana Kashayas. Now, in this next slide, we will see that what are the proportions we have to be used. That is, variations of Kashaya are Patha based on their concentration and its uses. Those 7 types only, but this is explained by Acharya Harita in Harita Samhita, and its ratio and proportions have been going to be mentioned here. Pachana Kashayas has to be reduced to half part of the preparations. That is on the basis of reduction, right? Means if you taken 1 part of the drug and 16 part of the water, for as a Pachana Kashaya administration, we have to reduce to half of that preparations. Next come to the Deepana Kashaya. Deepana Kashaya should be reduced to 1 by 10th part of the total quantity. If you want to be Shodhana Kashaya, we have to reduce to 1 by 12th part. For Shamana Kashayas, we have to use for 1 by 8th part reduction. Tarpana Kashayas, that is the nourishment purpose. Here, we are not going to be reduce any part, but the boiling till it's reached the boiling point. Means 100 degrees Celsius, means water should be boiled compulsorily. Once if it is started boiling, we have to be off the fire, and then it has going to be utilized. That is called as Tarpana Kashayas. Kledana Kashayas has to be used 1 by 4th part. Reduction has been done. Vishoshi or Shoshana, drying in nature, that should be used for 1 by 16 part. Like this, these 7 Kashayas, they have been explained on the basis of their action and their reduction. Concentration part has been mentioned here, how much you have to be reduced. And on the basis of, in this same only, according to Acharya Bhoja, in Bhoja Samhita, it has been mentioned that, and he explained still more number of kashayas where we are using in day-to-day our practices in Panchakarmas and all. How we should able to use those things and how we should able to prepare the kashayas they are going to be explaining here in this context. And that is the Sneha Kashaya. Sneha Kashaya means here while preparing any Snehana preparations also where you have to be prepare the kashayas. If you are preparing any grata, there also be some kashayas you have to prepare before as a base for the preparation of the formulation. In that context, Sneha Kashayas has been used. One in that 4 parts of water should be added, and it's reduced to 1/4 part. If it is also be mentioned by in all Charaka Samhitas also be, if you go through that, the preparation of grata preparations has been mentioned. We will tell that 4 parts of the drug have been, 4 parts of the water, 1 part of the drug have been taken, and it's reduced to 1/4 the proportion has been mentioned. What Bhoja is actually given. This time, next come to the Peya Kashayas. Peya are the, in Samsarjana Karma, the Peya has been used. In that context, if you preparing such a Peyas are there, which has been food administration, that even comes under Patya Kalpana, that is telling that water portion 8 times and it should reduce to 1/8 part of that. And Ashchotana Kashaya has been mentioned. This is a specific one. On required, it is the proportion has been mentioned. How much it is required because for the preparation of Ashchotana, that is one of the eye preparation, eye treatment. Ashwatthana karma has been mentioned. In that, if you want to be using for the Kashayas, in that context, is saying that the reduction rate is 1 by 25th part has been explained here. On required, the water portion, how much Kashaya we required, on that you have to take, and then on that basis, you have to be reduced to 1 by 25th part has been mentioned. Next, come to the Astapana Kashaya. While preparing the Astapana Bastis, should be prepare the Kashayas. So, 4 times of water should be taken, and it has to reduce to 1 by 16th part has been given. Next one to the Runa Prakshalana Kashaya. Runa Prakshalana means if you want to wash any wounds externally. In that context, we have to tell that to prepare the Kashaya of this drug and it is going to be washed with the drug. Means which type, in that how much water should be taken and how much should be reduced. It is not been explained in almost in any other text actually. That is, so Runa Prakshalana has been mentioned here. 8 parts of water should be taken and it should be reduced to 1 by 12th part. Basti Kashaya has been explained here. Basti Kashaya is also be one of the type of Basti preparations will come and our external Bastis also be available. In that context also if you are using the Kashayas in that time, we should be used for 10 times of water and it should reduce to 1 by 16th part of the Gandusha Kashaya. Gandusha Kashaya, that is a gargles where we are going to using the for mouth gargling purpose. The decoctions are going to be used. Here the preparation has been mentioned. There is 4 times of water and 1 by 5th part it has to be reduced. That is the name. Avagaha Kashaya, that is one type of Sveda where we are going to be pouring the Kashaya dravas on the patients. Here the preparation has been said 10 types of water should be taken, 1 part of the drug and it should be reduced to 1/4 part should be reduced. Paneeya Kashayas, it is also be one type of Kashaya Kalpana only where the drug has to be taken and it is actually a drinkable, Paneeya Kashaya is called as a medicated drinking water. We are going to see that one in the future slides. It is there. Here, the 4 times of water has been taken and 1/4 part should be reduced. That is Snana Salila Kashaya for bath purpose also. Here it has been mentioned. For the in the treatments, we are having giving the Snana, medicated Snana has been mentioned. In that context, 4 parts of water, 1 part of drug, and that Kashaya should be reduced to half part. Still more Kashayas have been explained. Yavagu Kashaya has been. Yavagu is not made gruels. The preparations have been mentioned. In that context, if you are going to using any Kashaya drugs, decoction, there we have to use the 4 times of water and the drug, and it has reduced to half part. Next one to the Vamana Kashaya. While conducting the Vamana procedures, if you are using Kashaya drugs as a Vamana Akantapana or maybe after the Akantapana Rabba we are giving as an like Estimadu Fantas and all are there where we have to be preparations have been mentioned or we are using any Kashayas for in Vamana Karma there we have to use the 4 times of water with 1 part of a drug and it reduced to half part and Parisheka Kashaya. This is also be one type of treatment of in Parisheka. There we are going to be where pouring the Kashaya Dravas on the ice. The preparation as mentioned 4 parts of water and it has reduced to half part. And Ushnodaka Kashaya. Ushnodaka means hot water. Ushnodaka. Jalapana Kashaya, that is also be a sub-formulation of an Kashaya Kalpana only. That is also going to see further in the slides. Here also be 4 times of water should be taken and it should be reduced to half part according to Bhoja Acharya. These are the different and Kashayas have been explained where we have to be using. Generally, we will prepare Evadus, we will use the Ushnodaka, we will while conducting the Vamana, we are preparing the Parisheka eye treatments. Generally, we are Gandushas where guardians are going to be mentioning. Paniya, generally a medicated water, we are going to advise the patients. If you want to wash any wounds, that is Pakshalana, Astapana, when Bastis are giving any preparation of Sneha Dravas, in that context, these are going to be more helpful for the preparation of the Kashayas by using the these methods according to Bhoja Acharya. Next point is coming to the Prakshepaka Dravyas in Kashayas. Those are called as Adjuvants, where we are going to be using Prakshepaka Dravyas in Kashayas. Here it is mentioned Sita Madhu, Kwate Sita Madhu no Prakshepanam. This is mentioned according to on the basis of the three doshas. Here, Sita and Madhu. Sita is a sugar candy and Madhu is a honey, which is going to be used in the preparation in the Vata, where Prakshepaka Dravyas are going to be act as an boosters for the medications. They are the vehicles, very easy to carry the medications to the patient because Madhu and Sita are generally, as we know that they are in sweet in nature because Kashayas are not palatable very easily. So because of their astringent taste. If you are adding these Prakshepaka Dravyas, they are increasing the bulk also be of the quantity, very easy to consumption for the patients as well as the palatable also be because of the taste of the astringent of the Kashayas where it can be used. And here Sita and Madhu have been administered on the basis of their quantity according to three doshas. Sita in Vataja Vikaras, one-fourth part should be used. In Pittaja Vikaras, 1 by 6th part of the Kashaya should be used, and in Kaphaja Vikaras, it should be used 1 by 16th part. And Madhu should be used in 1 by 16th part, and in Pitta, 1 by 8th part, and in Kapha, 1 by 4th part. So, Shloka said in that it's reverse. Very easy Shloka, that is, Pate Kshipet Sitam Mamsham Chatushta Ashtama Shodashaha, 1/4, 1 by 8, and 1 by 16. Vata Kapha, Vata Pitta Kaphantaka, Vata Pitta Kapha, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16. Vipritam Madhusmita. Opposite to that one, Sita. That is 1 by 16, 1 by 8, and 1 by 4. These are the two things. Other than this, any powders we are going to be added. Specifically, as mentioned the specific drugs because Churna he is telling another, but these drugs are going to be used. In this, he is telling Jiraka, Gugulu, Shara, Lavana, Shilajatu, Ingu, and Trikatu. In this context, these drugs should be used in one Shana Pramana. One Shana means approximately 3 grams in quantity should be added in the kashayas and administered according to the condition of the patient and according to the it may be in which disease, which one is suitable. According to that, we have to be select the Prakshepta and should be administered. And next come to the Drava Prakshepta means some liquids adjuncts have been mentioned like Kshira, Grata. Here Guda mentioned that is the liquefied and should be added there. So mentioned Taila, Mutra. These are the drugs. First liquids have been mentioned. Other than any paste that is kalka and churnadikam. If you are adding the churnas, they are used to 1 karsha pramana in quantity has been explained. That is 12 grams in quantity. Next come to the upakalpanas of kashayas, sub-formulations of and decoctions have been explained here. Upakalpanas of Kashaya Kalpana are sub-formulations of decoction. By using the same basic principle, the fundamental principle of Patana, Kashaya is mentioned, or in a Kvata Kalpana is that is, the basic concept is boiling. That is, Kvata Kalpana or Kashaya Kalpana has been mentioned. There are 6 types of sub-formulations are there for Kvata Kalpana or Kashaya Kalpana. That is, those are one is Paneeya Kalpana, Ushnodaka Kalpana, Laksha Rasa Kalpana, Mamsa Rasa Kalpana, Ksheerapaka Kalpana, and Pramathya Kalpana. We are going to see one by one. Now come to the Paneeya Kalpana. Paneeya Kalpana, we can able to compare that is a medicated drinking water. By adding the medicinal drugs and you have to be boiled and you have to be advised to the patients here. It is they mention that Chunnam Dravya Palam, Tadyam Chatuhu Shashtihi Pale Tale, Ardhavasistam Cha Tadeyam Panam Bhaktadi Viduhu. It is telling that. Means what? One part of the drug should be used and drug should be taken and 16 parts of the water should be added to that one and it should reduce to half part. Whatever it may be a drug which is according to the conditions generally can be used or generally also be if we can able to you maybe one example I'm telling is trending in Kerala and all that is water has been given they will give that is a medicated water will be there drug and 16 4 parts of water should be taken and it should reduce to half part is known as Paniya Kalpana or a medicated drinking water. This water is used for the preparation for Kashaya Siddha Yavagos, brewers. This can also be used. And one example has been given where it has been preparation in the context of Pipasa in the general ethers or Jaragna also we can use that is by the name of Shadanga Paniya. It is a very quite normally used Paniya Kalpana in almost all and it is very good for digestion also. It acts as a Deepana, as a Pachana and it's a Amahara also. That is a specialty of Shadanga Paniya. That is Ushira, Parpatadi, Udicha, Musta Nagarai, Chennai. These are the 6 drugs are there. It has taken in a one part. And to this, Jalam Sutam, Himam Payam, Pasa Jaran Ashram. He has been mentioned here. That is first Deepana Pachana and Jarahara properties as mentioned. Along with that, it is having an amahara property also be, and it is very light for digestion also be, and it is also be used for the preparation of several oils has been explained. That water can be used. Next, Ushnodaka Kalpana, that is a hot water. How we should able to consume, when we have to be consumed. This is most important. Generally, Ushnodaka means hot water. Everywhere tell that drink hot water in the early morning, drink everywhere in these conditions. Like that, it has been mentioning. But what Acharya says, exactly when we have to use and how we have to be prepared according to the conditions are going to be explained here. Astamena Ashtam Avashesham Chaturtanam Ardhakenava. Here three proportions has been mentioned. Astama, that is one eighth part. Chaturtham, one fourth, or Ardha, half. Va Athava Pataneneva, or mentioned. Pataneneva means the boiling point. Until it reach boiling point. Or it should reduce to 1 by 8, or it should reduce to 1 by 4, or it's reduced to half. If not, it should be reach the Pataneneva, boiling point. Siddham Ushnodakam Vadayet. Such water is known as Ushnodaka. Water after boiling till it reduced to an eighth, one fourth, and half part are just to reach the boiling state. And indications has been given in Shleshmahara, means Kaphahara it is, in Amavata diseases, in Medohagna, the fat burner has been mentioned, Asti Shodhana, and Deepana, Tasa, Shwasa, Jarahara has been mentioned. And the one word has been used here, that is, after the indication, Pitam Ushnodakam Nishi. Pitam Ushnodakam Nishi means when hot water should be consumed. The time of administration is mentioned, lukewarm in nature, at night time. It has been mentioned to be administration of the Ushnojala. This is specific. We have to be discussed on this point with the experts. This is Ushnodaka. Next, come to the third one, that is Laksha Rasa. Laksha Rasa is Laksha is a one drug name. Drug has been used, that is Cartaria lacca. In that, we are going to be used. This is added by Acharya Yadavji Tripanji. He is one of the person who given to Ayurveda, where at that time all the books are not available. He has been translated, he has been corrected, and he has been printed, and he has given the major works for Ayurveda field. That is Acharya Yadavji Tripanji. His preparation it has been added here from his book Dragaguna Vijnana. DG book, that is. Laksha Rasa is a water extract preparation obtaining by boiling the laksha in a dola yantra. This is a specific method of preparation has been mentioned. Dola means hanging instrument. It means a pot is going to be taken and in his on the pot neck we are going to making holes from both sides. In between we have to insert on a rod or a stick, whatever it may be that. To that one we are going to be hang, but the whatever the hanging material is there, it should not touch the bottom of the pot. That is dola yantra actually. In this procedure you will understand the coarse powder of laksha has been taken in a cloth and make it in a pottery. We can make it like a ball. That pottery has been going to be suspended in that dola yantra by hanging in it. That in between at the neck region, the rod in within, we are going to tie and we are going to leave in that one. And it is filled with the pot is filled with the 6 parts of water. But the pottery bottom should not be touch the bottom of the pot, because if it is not, it will get charred. The chances will be there. After adding the 6 part of water, and it should be boiled on a mrudu agni, and it should be reduced to one-fourth part of it. After the reduction of one-fourth part, it has to be filtered. Especially, it has been told that 21 times with a clean cloth it has to be filtered. The outcome is known as Laksha Rasa, and it is indicated in Kasa, Shwasa, Raktapitta. Laksha is the best drug of choice for bleeding disorders. In that condition, so we can able to be used. Kasa, Shwasa, Raktapitta, and in bleeding disorders, it should be used. Laksha. The dose is mentioned as 24 ml. Next one is Mamsa Rasa. This is a good one. It can be prepared and used everywhere. Generally, everybody is going to consume, who are especially non-vegetarians are there, especially. Mamsarasa preparations have been explained. A soup preparation out of chopped meat with the appropriate quantity of water and meat is known as Mamsarasa. It is also be written in this context by Acharya Yadavji Tripan. This also be their references. And types has been taken from the reference from the book Vaidya Paribhasha. There are two types have been mentioned, that is Kruta Mamsarasa and Akruta Mamsarasa. Kruta Mamsarasa means it's prepared with the spices, and Akruta Mamsarasa is without spices we are going to be prepared. In Kruta Mamsarasa prepared with Sneha, that is any fat meat like Sneha Dravyas like ghee, taila and all, Lavana, Katuka means here spicy dravyas. Katuka dravyas have been used. By adding sneha, lavana and Katuka dravyas is called as Krutamamsarasa. Krutamamsarasa means prepared without sneha, lavana and Katuka dravyas should be mentioned. This is according to the Vaidaka Paribhasha. And next come to the, according to the Mamsa Rasa can be classified into three types on the basis of the consistency and quantity of meat. This is added by Acharya Yadavji Trikamji. There are three types, Dhana, Madhyama and Tanu. Dhana means thick consistency in nature. Means the Mamsarasa, the meat soup is there, no? That consistency is thicker. So here, what he mentioned that in the preparation, he should be taken as an 8 palas, that is 384 grams of meat, and it is being added with one prastha jala, that is 768 grams of water. Water proportion has been kept same, but the quantity of mamsa, that is meats, has been altered on the basis of their preparations. If you want to prepare dhana, thick consistency, we have to add meat is 8 palas. If it is in a medium consistency, we should be add meat 6 palas, that is 288 grams. And if it is a tanu, what the consistency will be there means it is a less quantity of, that is 1 kudava, that is 192 grams. But jala is same, one prastha 768 grams only. And come to the how we should able to prepare the Mamsarasa. This is the reference has been taken from Bhav Prakasha, written by Acharya Bhav Mishra in his book Pritanavarga, in the part of Pritanavarga, where we are going to be seeing the how we can able to prepare the Mamsarasa. Now, first he is telling that grata was taken in a pan and melt in the absence of grita, taila can also be used. First, we have to take the pan, add the grata. If grata is not available, we can able to use the taila also. And then after the grata melted, we have to add hingu and aridra. Aridra are added and fried in that grata. Well, should be fried on fire. And then then next we have to add then finely chopped boneless goat's meat was added and fried. What you have to do? Finely chopped boneless goat's meat has to be used in this context has been mentioned. And to that appropriate quantity of water and salt is added, then boiled well until meat was properly cooked. Until that we have to be boiled. Once after the meat was properly boiled, cooked properly, then it has to be meat has to be taken out and it should be the liquid, whatever the remaining liquid is obtained from there, that is called as mamsarasa. And in this context, what we have to do still more. If you want to be require still more spices, we want to increase the taste according to the taste. In that, we can able to add the some more spicy materials according to the taste. We can able to be used. Those spicy materials comes under the called as an Veshavara, where we can able to use Chitraka, Pipali Mula, Pipali, Chabya, Nagara, Dhamnaka, Rajani, and we can if go on preparation, we can able to prepare several things by using this Mamsarasa also for an eatable preparation. So this is called as Mamsarasa preparations. And the next coming is another most important one. This can be practiced in very easily. Mamsarasa also be, and this preparation Kalpana is most important also be. This is milk-based decoctions you can able to prepare. Those are called as Ksheerapaka Kalpanas. This Ksheerapaka is one of a unique preparation, especially in Vata preparation decoctions. In this preparation, milk is used as a media for the formulation. The logic behind that acceptation of Kashaya, astringent taste and Pradhana Dravya means when if you want to give a Kashaya to the patient, where the drug is more astringent in taste, the Kashaya as a Pradhana Dravya is that, and it is having a Tikshna Guna, very hot potential, where the potential can't be sustained by the patient. So in that context, what we have to do, we have going to be want to reduce that taste and the potency of the drug means we have going for the this method that is called as Ksheerapaka. Hence our sages have made this a palatable form because more astringents also we can't able to be consumed. People will vomit also with that taste can't sustain or bear that one. So make it as more made into a palatable form where it reduces the Tikshnata and Kashaya Rasata in the method is known as Ksheerapaka. And the next question may become why Kshira is only used? Why other things cannot be? Why didn't use? Here the intention is telling that because milk is in a emulsion form where it is going to be having a capacity to be absorb the others properties in that. So it is having an emulsion in nature. So having a capacity to dissolve the mainly water soluble components, protein soluble components and fat soluble in components in some extent. So the milk has been used as a base material for the preparation of Ksheerapakas. And how to prepare the Ksheerapaka? Here I am going to telling the according to different authors also. Majorly we are practicing nowadays, that is according to Sharangadaras, that is Kshiram Ashtavagunam, Dravya Kshiran Niran Chaturgunam, Kshiravashesham Tatpitam Shulam Amudbhavam Javet. That is telling that one part of the drug, 8 parts of the milk, and 32 parts of water all together. This is one method according to the Sharangara. One part of drug, 8 parts of milk, and 32 parts of water should be added. And then it has boiled on mild fire and it should be reduced to 8 parts. 1 is to 8 is to 32. And it should reduce to 8 parts. Kshiravashesha always. Whatever how much you take the milk, that much it has to be reduced. That is an ideal identification when you have to stop the preparation. And next, according to the Acharya Yadavji Trikamji, what he did here, he mentioned that one part of the dirt, 15 parts of water and 15 parts of milk has been taken. 1 is to 15 is to 15 ratio, and it should be reduced to 15 part itself, according to Yadavji Trikamji. If it is come to the according to the Ashtanga Hridaya and Sangraha, according to Acharya Vagbhat, what he did first, according to his ideology, in the shloka number in Kalpastana 8 bar 8th chapter 12th shloka in Ashtanga Sangraha, it has mentioned, he told that all the ingredients of that drug is won't yield in the milk. So what we have to do first, we have to prepare the kvata of the drug, and then again we have to add the equal quantity of the milk. 1:1 ratio means the kvata how much you are taking, that much only the milk we have to add, and again it should reduce to Kshira. That is how much Kshira has been added, that much Kshira has to be reduced. This is according to Acharya Vagbatas. Charaka also be told in different places how to prepare the Ksheerapaka preparations. And here I am mentioning very popular Ksheerapaka preparations where can easily prepare it in your practices and can be administered as an Sadhyapana, means instantly prepare and instantly use before time. Give the time and finish. That is Arjuna Ksheerapaka, especially in the context of Rudrogas and diseases. The Arjuna is a Shrestha is there. Ashunakshirapaka in the context of Amoata, that is rheumated arthritis in this condition. Generally, we are using these two preparations and very easy to be prepare out. And next come to the last one, that is a Pramathya Kalpana. This is somewhat a different preparation, Pramathya Kalpana, because other preparations where we are using coarse powders and all. But in this preparation, especially, there is a twist has been given by Acharya Sharangadara, that is telling that rather than using a coarse powder of a drug, you can use the paste of it. This is the specialty of this Pramatya preparations and why they are being used. And they're regarding this, what other acharyas will say, so we'll see. It is a thick form of a decoction. That is telling that Pramatyam Precha Dravyapale Kalki Krutat. Kalki means Kalpa has been used. That is the paste form has been used. It is a thick form of a decoction. First, we have to be make a paste of it, and to this add the 8 parts of water and it's boiled on mild fire and it is reduced to 1 by 4th or 1 by half part has been given to the according to the author and the letter. And the dose has been mentioned as Paladvayam has been mentioned. This is Pramatya. And regarding the Pramatya, what Acharya Charaka says, Pramatya is a pata used for Madhyama dosha pradhana vyadis. So here, the specific point has been raising by the Acharya Charakas here. Pramatya, the drugs should be used always Madhyama dosha pradhana vyadis. The bala of the patient also should be a madhyama, and the dosha avastha also should be a madhyama pradhana should be there. According to Charaka, in Charaka Chikitsasana, 19th chapter, 19th shloka has been mentioned here. On this, the famous commentator of Charakas, the Chakrapani, has been commented that Pramatyas are to be the Pachana Deepana Kashayas. He is telling that are said to be a these Kashayas. What Acharya Charaka told is a Madhyama Dosha Pradhana Vyadis. In that context, but according to Chakrapani's commentary, he is telling that they are should be used as an Pachana Deepana Kashayas as the beginning of the treatments of the treatment. Some examples have been mentioned. The examples have been used that Pipali, Shunti, Vacha, Ajwain, Dhanak and Haritaki drugs combination, a Pramatya is can be prepared. Shira, Musta, Bilwa, Shunti, Dhanaka. These two references have been taken from Vagbhatas. Actually, Vagbhata has been mentioned. Their preparations have been a Pramatyas. Musta, Indrayava, Siddharthaka should be used. This is Sharangadara has been given there, one of the formulations regarding. These are the 6 Upakalpanas. Of Upakalpana means sub formulations of Kashaya, Kalpanas, Paneeya, Ushnodaka, Laksha, Rasa, Mamsa Rasa, Ksheerapaka, and Pramathya Kalpanas. Means all the basis is only one, that is boiling method. Kashaya, this is the specialty of fundamentals. Wherever the Kashaya preparations has been done, there we have to be used the boiling method. The pathas has been used. All six types of subtypes of preparations of charaka, this one, kathas, all are used as in a boiling method itself. Telling about that, some of the formulations where we can able to use kashayas and the indications have been mentioned. Aragadadi Kashaya in skin diseases, itching, or mitigates the kapha dosha, especially. Amrutottar Kashaya fevers, generally, as everybody know that one, in Vatarakta Vatapranita, and it is also present a mild laxative. Chiravilvadi Kashaya, piles, fistulas, and constipation in that, especially in good in this condition should be used. Dashamula Pratatrayam Kashayam, especially in all types of respiratory allergies, cough and asthma conditions also can be used. But we have to be check the Vyadi Bala and Rogabala. On that basis only we have to be fix the medications. Dashamula Kashayam, Vata we should use. Maharasnadi Kashaya, Gridrasi, Apabahuka, Dashmula Kashaya, water minutes. Drakshadi Kashaya in giddiness, thirst, and in jaundice, that is anemia, jaundice conditions should be used. And Gandharvastadi Kashaya, Vataja elements, digestion, indigestion, and it also be acts as a mild laxative. Gugulu Chitta Kashaya can be used in Vatarakta diseases, skill ailments, wounds, and bone disorders can be used. Indukanta Kashayam can be used in liver disorders and Vishamajara, where the fluctuation of the fever is there, that can be used. Next one is Punarnavadi Kashaya, where anemia and edema is there, and that can be used. Patola Padorohinadi Kashaya, skin elements and the liver disorders, is the best one. And Pratyaksha Dhatu Kashaya, especially upper Uttamanga, that is for head issues like any headache, sinus, allergic rhinitis conditions. Pratyakshadhata Kashaya can be. Rasnadi Kashayam, aches, swellings, all the joints, especially ankles, knee, wrist, back, and neck in those conditions can be used. Tiktaka Kashaya, especially also for all Pittaja elements. Maharasnadi Kashaya, which is also be Rasnadi and Maharasnadi are doing in the same. Indeed, the sea, pains and the nervous disorders can also be used. Manjistadi Kashaya, elements of element due to the blood impurities. In that context, Manjista is the best drug of choice for the blood purification. Mahatiktaka Kashaya, skin elements, Visarpa, Dushtagunas, in that context can be used. Panchakola Kashaya can be used in the indigestion and in the any conditions. And the Maharasana Kashaya can be used in the Thank you.
One question, Ashwatthana Kashaya you mentioned, 125th reduction should be done.
Yes.
Is it too concentrated for the eyes? That was the question.
So only, sir, it is mentioned as required, it is mentioned there. There is no proportion of water has been clearly mentioned there in that context.
Mrudvagni, you mentioned Kashaya to be prepared on Mrudvagni.
Sure.
And see, that was traditional preparations in the olden days. They used to prepare in different ways. Now we use maybe in small scale preparations, gas stoves, and in large scale pharmaceutical preparations, different furnaces and big vessels are used. How to decide the uniformity? My question is how to decide the uniformity. Mrudvagni, how to calculate in different contexts of preparation. If I am using a traditional stove with wood and other things like wood as a fuel or gas stove as a fuel, so how to calculate and decide on the uniformity of Mrudvagni?
So on the basis of temperature, we can able to classify, sir. Mridu Agni comes under within 100 degrees, sir. 100 to 250 degrees Celsius it is coming. Especially we are calculating this one for preparation of Puti Tappa preparation, where we are going to telling Mridu Agni, Madhyama Agni, and Haragni we are going to use for the preparation of Puti Tappa. Because we needed minimum of 300 degree temperature that comes under the bottle. But outside maybe it's higher, but inside very less will be there. But in that context, we are making it in a types of Agni means totally six types of Agni has been explained, mentioned. Last one, six types of Agni. That is the Murdu Agni. First one it is mentioned the Deep Agni. Deep Agni means the temperature which is going to be come out from a lamp. Deepa. How much it is there? That is called as a Deep Agni is there. Murdu Agni is a minimum of 100 degree temperature because the boiling temperature. Murdu Agni means always to prepare on the boiling temperature itself, and we should be wait for that one. If you increase that temperature, what is going to happen? The some of these is natural components are there which are in volatile in nature. They can able to evaporate or char. Generally, open kashayas in that volatile drugs we won't be add maximum only. In special context only, we are going to adding the volatile principal drugs. But in other there, what is going to happen if in higher temperature, those chemical compositions are going to be charred. For that purpose, we are using the Mridu Agni. Minimum is Mridu Agni is 100-degree temperature, sir, where boiling temperature is.
What can one take for broken bone of scapula? It depends on the extent of this one, etc. I mean, you can please opt for consultation with one of our experts. Usually, Gandha Taila, Laksha, Gugulu, etc. are given orally to expedite the healing process. And proportion is indicated. How do you consider when say solids or powders, etc. are mixed with liquids? Sometimes the pressed powders would be different in volume. Usually, three powders, like which is like not stuck together, is taken is one. Either in preparation of kashaya for largely coarse powder is taken, and its weight is considered than volume. Anything to add, Abdul Karim sir?
Actually, in our Mana Paribhasha, sir, they are mentioned in the not in the volumes. They are mentioned in the grams. In that only calculation has been mentioned. We have to be weigh the water and then we have to be utilize that. But we are telling that here 96 ml, but it is a 96 gram only. I think, sir, because the calculations also be mentioned. Some of there specifically, but not specifically for pala. One pala dose has been mentioned. It is for liquid also be mentioned as an a one pala and for a solid also be mentioned as an a one pala one. So I think we have to be weigh the water and should be add.
So, because weight is considered, whether the powder is like condensed or it is free, it would not matter. But if it is found as a pressed powders, it is pressed powder, better to loosen it and check, because if it catches mold, etc., if in a pressed powder, it will be difficult to check whether the powder can be used for internal consumption or not. And out of all the dosage forms, these tunas or herbal powders are hard to keep because of their increased area of exposure. They usually cause, I mean, they're very easy to catch mold and get spoiled very quickly. With that said, we come to the end of this session. Thank you all. See you in the next
Thank you.
session. Namaste.